Okay, welcome to this workshop series on healing for positive manifestation. My name is Yvonne Stein, for those of you who were not aware of that. There are basically 4 separate workshops in this series, and each will build upon the previous workshop. So we're going to start with workshop number 1, and where we build a foundation of how and why we manifest. So workshop number 1, of course, is positive manifestation. Workshop number 2 is going to focus on breaking control dramas, and you'll find out the importance of that as we get into this other board over here. When we get that completed, you'll see why breaking control dramas is one of the most important things you'll want to learn. Number 3 is learning from your experiences. And in that one, we will show you how to learn the lesson in every experience you have in life, which that's all life is about, is the lessons, and if we learn them, we can transcend and go on and manifest better things. Number 4 will be manifesting your thoughts, and we will help reprogram some of the thinking patterns to help you manifest more positively. First, let's talk about why we are trying to manifest. You know, people often focus on a specific manifestation need, such as material wealth, physical healing, spiritual gifts, or maybe even the ideal relationship. I mean, you've heard all these, right? This is what people want in life. But what we're really trying to manifest is core freedom. I mean, if you balance, you can do anything you want, whenever you want, because you can manifest as you desire. So in other words, the ability to experience life as we choose, rather than on somebody else's agenda. If you already have a good handle on positive manifestation, these workshops will help you become a master at it. And if you are already a master at manifestation, then these will help make you a PhD. I've used these techniques for years, and people that know me are aware of what I've been able to manifest in my life. But the greatest thing I've been able to manifest is total sense of inner peace. I don't worry about anything. Nothing gets to me. I wish everybody could have that feeling. Okay, we're going to start with some basic concepts and then rapidly expand on those concepts. Unlike most workshops of a spiritual, self-help, or motivational nature, this one will include a very, very little mathematics. But don't worry, there's no quiz at the end. And I guess we'll just get started then. All right, let's start with a definition of metaphysics, because it's a term that's often confused or something that is important to know. It's of Greek origin, and it's all things after the physics. All physics and metaphysics relationships involve energy transfer. Every action and all forms of life are sustained by energy. I mean, air has energy in it. Our skin wouldn't hold together if there wasn't energy. We wouldn't be able to think. We wouldn't have thoughts. And so energy is obviously the precursor to all life. Without energy, there can be no matter, people, plants, light, air, etc. So metaphysics basically is everything that physics can explain. Thought transmission, out-of-body experiences, you could say ghosts fall in that category, but what we're really talking about is use of your human soul power and to help transform your life. Energy, mass, consciousness. I said we're going to get into a little bit of math, and I meant a very little math, so don't this is a little bit unusual for a spiritual or motivational workshop, but I find it's important. We're going to start with the equation, Einstein's equation, E equals mc squared, and you wouldn't think that this has anything to do with what we're going to discuss today, but obviously energy is mass times the speed of light squared. And the most important thing about this equation is that all mass contains consciousness. All right. Now, consciousness does not necessarily mean thought. All mass does not think, but it does have memory. And we were just talking about that a few minutes ago, how it doesn't matter if this table, which is made out of wood, that wood came from some forest. That forest had some history. How it was processed, whether it was run through a sawmill, whether it was carved by hand, all go into the consciousness of that wood. And so carpet, even though it looks synthetic, it came from something originally. So the more it's processed, which oftentimes we hear about food, the less significant importance energy it maintains. So the raw materials, hand-carved goods, would have a different energy than something that's processed through a factory. Okay. It can have information, memory, purpose, or thought, depending on where that energy is harnessed and where it's stored. What kind of entity, whether it's a human or animal or plant or an inanimate object like chairs. All right, every cell and every molecule contains consciousness, and therefore it's programmed with some information, and it also has polarity. That information can be of a positive nature or a negative nature. And we're going to be focusing a lot on polarity in this, and I'll show you why in a little while. So long durations of negative programming can manifest into physical ailments. I think we all have probably come aware of that if you've had a lot of negative experiences in your life or negative thoughts, you can manifest physical ailments from that, as well as manifest physical events from that. Let's see, self-healing must start with reprogramming your energy, which results in healing the cells and molecules. So you start with your consciousness, and eventually that reprograms the physical cells themselves. All right, so why are we balancing? Balance is the same as growth, because out of balance you grow and you also heal, which in another term is harmonization. And so why do we want to do that? I mean, everybody can imagine that, oh, you're going to feel better, you're going to be able to manifest better things. But there's actually a mathematical equation to this which will help put it into some perspective. So life becomes easier, less pain, more positive, inner peace, core freedom. So harmonization, the equation on this one is n squared. All right, that's the most powerful equation you're going to know in the metaphysical world. Okay, n is the number of people harmonizing. So obviously you got n equals 1, which is one person in balance, say, and you got n squared, of course, is going to equal 1. And what you're going to find out as you see n equals 2, n squared equals 4, and say n equals 8, n squared equals 64. All right, so two people harmonizing have 4 times the energy. All right, this is why we're trying to get along in the world. This is why we're trying to harmonize with at least one other person, and it is the sole purpose for relationships, to try to achieve harmonization with another being. Okay, now here's well, I won't say it's a problem, but this is where people are getting hung up. Say you're not completely balanced. All right, so let's say you're only 50% balanced. N equals 0.5, n squared equals 0. All right, now you see the problem. If you're not completely balanced and harmonized, then you're actually hurting yourself, because you don't even have 1 times your own power to use to manifest or to heal or anything else in your life. Obviously, if you have 2 people who are half balanced, then maybe they have, you add it 0.5, you get n equals 1, and you get 2 people who are actually only manifesting at the power of 1 person.